Falmouth will boycott them on Wednesday. Lucy Bolt, BBC Spotlight, Exeter.
Earlier this week, we told you about a sharp rise in the number of drug crimes being recorded by police in Plymouth. Figures show an increase in trafficking and possession. Drug deaths across the UK have hit record levels, leading some to question whether existing laws are fit for purpose. Ewan Murray reports.
Hi guys, my name's Roy Stan and I'm just giving you a quick view of where I live, Restart Recovery Houses. Plymouth.
Royston lives in a dry house in Plymouth, with several others also in recovery from addiction. For the past few months, he's been completely drug-free, after struggling with narcotics for most of his life.
It started off with me taking cannabis at school, and then it progressed when I left school, went to college, and then got involved in speed, amphetamine, and then LSD, ecstasy. And then by the time I got to 23, it progressed really rapidly. And then I started going clubbing, snorting cocaine. And then in the early 90s, say 91, I got involved with crack cocaine. And then my life just went into turmoil when I started taking that. I was committing crime, in and out of prison.
But repeated jail sentences were no deterrent. And as his criminal record grew, so did his dependence on drugs.
Then I was just in the system, and then when I was in prison, I got introduced to heroin. And when I took heroin, it used to block out my feelings, the way I felt, all the shame and guilt of being in prison and not being out on the street to look after my children. And then I got released from prison with a heroin habit.
People caught with Class A drugs in Scotland could soon face getting police warnings instead of prosecution. That's as part of efforts to drive addicts out of the criminal justice system. So could Scotland's new approach to possession for personal use be right for England? The Home Secretary thinks not.
Those who test positive as confirmed drug users will be supported to tackle their drug abuse and regain their independence. But for those unwilling to address their drug misuse, there will be the harshest possible legal sanctions and consequences.
After 50 years of the Misuse of Drugs Act, has criminalising users been a success? Dozens of MPs think not, but neither of the main parties supports a change to the law.
It's failed me miserably, do you know what I mean? Because if they give me treatment centre, say 27 years ago, maybe I wouldn't have spent half of my life in prison. I'd love to sit down and speak to these politicians face to face, you know what I mean, and tell them exactly where they're going wrong.